Hey guys, what is going on? This is Travis. Welcome back to Coffee, Computers, and More. A couple weeks ago, I did a video on dating in your 40s and 50s, and I talked about how that experience is different than how it is when we're in our 20s and 30s and so on, and just kind of what I was going through as somebody who's getting back into the whole dating pool. And so today I'm going to do my first ever reaction video on this channel. This is 9 tips for dating in your 40s for men who may be divorced, right here. So emlovz is going to take us through 9 different tips that we should think about if we're going to get back into dating, stuff that we can do. And I'm going to give you my reaction to it based off of the experiences I have so far and just based off of life experiences in general. So let's go ahead and get started. There will be some portions of this that I'm going to be cutting out just in order to keep things kind of brief and kind of keep things rolling. So we're going to go right into tip number 1. We'll hear what she has to say. Then I'm going to stop and kind of give you my take on what she has to say, whether or not that's realistic or not. So here we go.
Many advantages men in their 40s have on the dating scene that you may not have realized. Let's take a look at 9 tips to experience the most success while dating in your 40s as a guy.
All right, let's do
Number
this.
1,
Number
ask
one.
friends to set you up. A lot of your friends are now married or are at least on their way to the altar. If that
Mm.
seems like a bummer, it doesn't have to be. When you're coupled up, it's fun to hang out with other couples. But it's also nice to be able to help your single friends find someone special if they're looking for love.
So my friends know that I've been looking for a companion and so on. And what's ironic is that it was a friend of mine that actually introduced me to another gal that was a friend of his, and it was an event at an event that we were both working at, and that worked out really well because we had something to talk about right off the start. And then I've had friends introduce me to other friends and so on. And so it's not a bad idea if you don't have a lot of friends or you don't want to, let your family in on your business on how your private life is going and stuff. I can understand how you might want to just keep to yourself and just go right to, that level where you go hit the online dating sites and so on. But yeah, if you've got some friends that know somebody, it's not necessarily a bad thing. You would hope that your friends would try to set you up with people that they think would be best for you. Now, the only caveat to this that she's not going to talk about is that what if things don't work out? What if feelings are hurt? You don't want your friend to be upset at you because, he set you up with his best friend or her best friend and it didn't work out. So that's about the only thing you could run into is you want to kind of tread lightly in this area if you're going to go out with the friends of friends or friends of family members. So not a bad tip. All right, let's go ahead and bump ahead to number 2.
To be deal breakers. Tip number 2, use online dating to your advantage. Along with meeting through
Okay,
mutual
so
friends,
online dating, we're talking algorithms here, we're talking programs, we're talking different services and so on. This is something I have not done yet, and I'm not afraid to. I'm totally confident in getting back out there. It's nothing that really bothers me. It's just that I, again, trying, local friends of friends and so on before I get into these services like Bumble or eHarmony and things like that. And again, this can get very expensive if you're in a bunch of different services. You can spend a lot of money every month on these, like a subscription service. Some of the advantages are that algorithm's going to try to match you up with who they think is a perfect partner. The only downside of this is that you hope that the person that you're going to be meeting in real life is very similar to that profile that you're seeing online, that you don't get ghosted, that you don't get scammed. So let's hear what she has to say for just a minute, and then we'll go on to tip number 3.
use a variety of other means to meet women in order to optimize your success. One great way to meet women is through online dating sites and apps. There are several free apps available as well as paid sites to choose from. The top performers across the board for my clients are Hinge and Bumble, but I recommend diversifying your outreach with 5. If you live in a major city, I'd recommend adding Coffee Meets Bagel, Facebook Dating, and Tinder to the list.
So I'm probably not going to do the Tinder thing. I just want to get that out there right now. Coffee meets bagel. Coffee. This is a coffee channel. I think I like that. I don't know what coffee meets bagel is all about. I have no idea. Some of you are probably face palming right now saying, don't go there, don't go there. Bumble is one that I'm considering right now, too. Some of these sites, they ask you a ton of questions to try to match up with that perfect person. But then, I've heard stories where the algorithm works too well and you're matched up with somebody that's too much like you, and then you're bored. So I don't exactly know how this is going to work out, but we're going to get cracking on the profile here pretty soon on a few of these sites, probably Bumble to start off. So we'll hear what she has to say. Then we'll go on to tip number 3.
You want to avoid relying solely on one app because then you run the risk of dealing with app specific glitches or even being shadow banned.
Oh, shadow ban. Hey, we're YouTubers. It's not like we ever heard of that before, right? All right, let's move on to step number 3 here.
After you match with someone. Tip number 3, give yourself an age range of 10 years when looking for singles.
All right, so age range to 10 years. So I'm 46 years old. I don't know if she's saying go 36 to 56, but then listen to what she has to say here.
When it comes to age differences in a relationship, go by a difference of 10 years. So if you're 40, any woman 30 or older or 50 or younger can
Okay.
be a good choice age
Okay.
wise. You can also do the half your age plus seven rule.
So if I'm 46, I'm going to have to do some math here. Puts me around 34, 35 minimum. I mean, she's going to talk about going younger here also. And you can do that. But when you're going out with somebody that's in their 20s, they might not be so serious about settling down. They're still out there to have fun in life. They might want a lot of kids. And if you're in your mid 40s to 50s, that could be kind of some challenging numbers. And really the stats show that the younger you go with the person that you are meeting up with, that you're dating and going out with, the less chance you have of that relationship actually surviving. So for me personally, low 30s to mid 40s, I'm going to try to go for somebody within that range. And I think that's probably what I'm going to go for, just mainly because you might find somebody who's a little more professional, somebody who's, more established in their ways and so on. But let's hear what she has to say.
I.e., the youngest acceptable age for you to date if you're 40 would be a woman who is 27. These rules don't have to be set in stone, but it is important to note that when you're in your 40s, it's probably a bad idea to date a woman below the age of 25. Women in their early 20s are more likely to still be in a party mindset or have a desire to sow their oats before settling down.
Yeah, and here's the thing, man. If you're looking for somebody you want to, if you're in your mid 40s, you're in your 50s, our clocks are running out here. We're going to be in Valhalla here soon. So you're probably going to want to try to find somebody maybe that's a little more serious with settling down with somebody. Not that you couldn't find somebody in their 20s or mid 20s or late 20s that's very mature, that's looking for a relationship with an honest, hardworking person. But yeah, so you're pretty much going to have to take that one with a grain of salt. All right, let's go on to tip number 4.
In a mature relationship. Tip number 4, use recent pictures for your online dating profiles. Don't let the
Yeah.
fact that you're in
So
your
that is
40s
something that
intimidate.
I have not set up a profile yet on any of the current apps and things like that. But when I do, I'll be using current new photos of me as I am right now. Obviously, somebody who looks me up on Google, they look up my full name if they find out who I am. I've got YouTube channels and there's pictures of me out there that are fine. They're professional photos, but they are pretty old. Some of these pictures go back over 10 years. And so I was a lot less gray back then. I do look a lot younger when I take the beard off. So yeah, obviously using recent pics of what a person can expect when they see you. There's a lot of other factors I think that somebody might use to find an interest in you, like your confidence level or your profile description, hobbies and interests and stuff like that. So don't worry about it so much. I mean, just put yourself out there, be honest, because if you meet that person, how are you going to hide yourself, right? How are you going to hide that aside from ghosting and not showing up, which is not what we're going to do. All right, so let's go on to number 5.
Brings me to my next tip.
Number 5, here
Tip
we
number
go.
5, embrace your age. Some men I talk to who are in their 40s worry that their age is going to be a deterrent in the dating world. But a lot of women actually gravitate toward men in their 40s, particularly when they want a serious relationship.
There we go. Plus, you know what? I'm a Gen Xer, so I just don't care. I'm just going to go out there and have fun, and I'm not going to let it bother me. So I'm not going to be all self conscious about it. Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to be in my mid 40s. I find myself being really kind of enjoying getting into this older stage in life and just kind of slowing down a little bit and relaxing. So yeah, I'm cool with getting old. It's all good. All right.
Dating in your 40s as a man usually means that you are more established, cultured, and
Mm,
well rounded than men in
abs-
their 20s
absolutely. Well,
and
I'm
even
more
early
well rounded,
30s.
but yeah,
And as a man, you don't have any type of biology working against you when it comes to starting a family.
that's true because it's pretty much game over.
In fact, a 2010 study, including 30,770 heterosexual adults, found that women tend to prefer older men. Women often associate these men with confidence, intelligence, good child rearing, and overall maturity.
Oh yeah, I've got all those. Just ignore the video games behind me, and that's if we can work past that, I think we're gonna be fine. All right, let's go on to number 6.
Tip number 6, disclose your marital status.
Oh,
If you're
yeah.
divorced, don't keep that a secret from a potential partner. Remember that they're going to find out eventually, so it's best to be upfront about it from the beginning. When you disclose,
So on some of the dates that I've been on, that has come up in the discussion. It's been one of those I'll tell you if you tell me kind of scenarios talking about, the marital status and like the divorce and what led to it. I think that what led to somebody's divorce that could really influence the kind of person they are now and it could really impact how they're going to react to you. So again, tread lightly in that area. Is that something you really want to get out on a first date or not? Or you just want to enjoy that person and then talk about it? You probably want to let those kind of keep that in the background. If that other person inquires about it, then I would say it's probably a good idea to bring it up in the discussion. But be honest. I mean, if you're married or, it would be a horrible thing to meet that perfect person and then it turns out that they're still married, although they've been separated for like a decade, but they couldn't legally remarry because they never got divorced. So that could be a serious issue. So just think about those things when you're having that discussion with somebody. So, all right, let's hear what she has to say, and then we'll go on to number 7.
Disclose your divorce, however, be sure to talk about it in positive terms. Don't bemoan the difficulties of divorce and talk about how much it sucks to have to start over by dating in your 40s, what a crazy succubus your ex wife is, and so on.
So I don't complain about it. I just took 16 months off of getting back out there before I decided to do so until my confidence level came back. And yeah, you just want to try to make the best of it that you possibly can, but at the same time, you want to be honest. All right, let's go on to number 7.
And settled in that department. Tip number 7, get in
Oh,
shape. Your
absolutely.
testosterone levels
Absolutely. I don't know
decrease
if you
in
can
your
see that. It
40s,
probably
which
doesn't even
means
fit on the
staying in
camera
shape can be
lens.
more
Yeah.
difficult.
Yeah.
If you've never worried too much about working out, try to start incorporating more activity into your routine by exercising 30 to 45 minutes a day, 5 times
So
a
I'm just going to say it right now. I have lost over 20 pounds in the last 4 weeks, and all it took was for me to change my eating habits, specifically what I was doing for breakfast, my activity level, getting out there and exercising. Doing a couple miles on the treadmill or a couple miles of walking and lifting weights, and it's made a huge impact. My lower back doesn't hurt anymore. I'm feeling much better. The only problem I'm running into is now that I'm dropping clothing sizes, I'm kind of limited with what I have, and I've got to buy new clothes, which is not something to really get mad about. So yeah, get yourself in shape. You're going to find yourself having better energy levels. You're going to feel stronger. You're going to feel better. I think that right there is that's number one, because it's going to help you keep up your energy levels and so on, so that you just don't get shot down by work and you're too tired to go out and do anything and so on. And then not only that, but also putting down the video game controller and getting away from the Xbox for a while, and just kind of getting out there. I think that made a huge difference for me. So, all right, let's go on to a little bit more 7, then we'll move into 8.
a week. This doesn't mean you have to go crazy with bodybuilder workouts, but whatever your activity level has been in your 20s and 30s should be amped up now that your metabolism has
Lots
slowed
of
down.
protein shakes. Lots of
If
protein
your
shakes.
diet isn't the best, take this new era as a way to embrace healthier foods. Eating well and exercising won't just make you look better, it will make you feel better too.
That's absolutely true, guys. You need to definitely try it, and you're going to be
When you feel
surprised.
good, you're confident. Tip number 8, make
All
her an
right,
offer she can't refuse.
make her an offer
This
she
tip
can't
is a tried
refuse.
and true one, whether you are dating in your 40s or beyond.
Hmm.
When you ask a woman out, it's important that you stand out from other men by offering her a compelling date idea that appeals to her specific
Like
interests.
bungee
For
jumping?
example,
I'm just kidding.
if the woman you're approaching is a wino, you could offer to
Well,
take her to an eclectic wine tasting at a place she hasn't been before.
I'm surprised she used that term, because when I hear the term wino, maybe that term has changed. To me, wino is like a drunk. It's somebody that is like an alcoholic, but I would say maybe somebody who's a fan of wine or, whatever craft spirits and things like that. Yeah. So if you know what the interests are of that person, you can maybe plan something accordingly. If that person's a coffee fan, take them to your favorite coffee shop or ask them what their favorite coffee shop is. If they like the outdoors, go for a hike or go for an outdoorsy walk. If you've got dogs, maybe go to the dog run and have a chat. You can have a few laughs and stuff. So yeah, you want to definitely, and if you just want to start off with dinner, I mean, I think that's going to be fine too. But if, as you learn more about that person, and if they've got interests that you have, don't change who you are. But if they've got interests that you have, then yeah, definitely take advantage of that. So, all right, let's see what she has to say here.
It's also important that you have the date properly planned so you can give her all the details she needs, like the exact time of day, the day of the week, and location of this kick ass date that you've planned.
All right,
The
you
time,
can do
date, and
that.
location comprise a date's call to action, or what we here at emlovz refer to as a TDL.
Would it just be too informal to just send that person an invite on their Apple calendar or their Android calendar? They can just add it to their calendars. They know not to miss it. Nah, you probably want to just have a plan and then just go ahead and text it to them. So let's not be so impersonal that we don't actually talk to that person when we make these plans. All right, we're gonna bump ahead to number 9 here in just a second.
In mind. Tip number
All
9,
right, number
mega
9.
date. This is
Megadeth?
another
Oh,
dating tip
Megadate.
that
Sorry, my bad.
transcends all age groups. If
Megadate.
you're single, you absolutely 100%
What is
need to be
Megadate?
mega dating if you want to reach your dating goals fast.
Hmm.
Mega dating is a dating process that involves dating several different women at the same time in order to diffuse your energy and keep your social calendar full. Mega
Wait, how am I
dating
supposed to take like 3 ladies at the same time to dinner at the same location? That's gonna be kind of awkward, isn't it? I don't know, let them fight it out over you maybe? No, I'm just kidding. It's one of those things where you're gonna be balancing your time with different people as you get to know people. You're kind of maximizing your time. So instead of just having one person lined up that you're gonna go with for that 1 week, you're gonna go out with say 2 or 3 different people during that week, and it's gonna optimize your time use, and definitely get you out there. And let's see what she says here.
is great when you're dating in your 40s as a man because it will ultimately give you the confidence you need to find success. This
Hmm.
strategy requires you to practice your approaches with women and put yourself out there frequently. Like they say, practice makes perfect.
Oh yeah. So, it's just like anything, whether it's your job, the just working with something, or if it's a hobby that you have, the more that you do it, the better you're going to get at it. And it's just you're going to have confidence when you're out there and so on. You're going to be able to handle it and deal with it. So I think that yeah, that's definitely not a bad idea. You want to get as much practice as you can, and obviously you want to try to meet as many people as possible to try to find that person that's going to work best for you. Don't get caught up on that one person that might have some characteristics or personality traits that you just don't mesh well with, or you're just not very comfortable with, but you like them sort of, but you're going to get all caught up on them. So yeah, you definitely want to make sure you give yourself some time when you do this. All right, so let's just bring it back for just a few final words. So those are the 9 tips for dating in your 40s for men who may be divorced from the emlovz channel. I think that's all great information. I don't think there's really anything in there that I really disagree with. I think that she puts a lot out there that is very easy to follow. It's not really asking a lot of you, and I think it's going to make you a better, healthier person in the end, definitely. So that's something that I think we can all definitely use. So good information, good 9 tips for dating. I just want to throw some commentary out there and kind of give my reaction to what I thought about what she said and what I've seen so far. And it all is basically true. I haven't done mega dating yet, but just everything else that's on there, I definitely agree with. So that's it, guys. This is Travis, Coffee, Computers, and More. Thanks for watching. And this is my second reaction video. Well, first reaction video on this particular channel on the 9 tips for dating in your 40s. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. We had a good time. If you guys have any other tips you want to chime in down below, men or women, I don't care. Just put them down there, and we'll take a look and see what you have to say, and I'll give you guys updates as time goes on. So I want you guys to have fun. I want you to be safe, drink lots of coffee, and as you know, we will talk to you soon. All right.